Hi there, welcome to this week's inspirational quote. This week's quote comes from Rainer Maria Rilke, who was one of Austria's most famous poets. And his quote is this: "The only journey is the one within." Now that could mean a lot of things, but what does it mean in today's world? The only journey is within. I think Byron Katie actually more recently has articulated the three types of business that we can get caught up in. And she talks about it in very simple ways to help us understand where we perhaps sometimes drift and start thinking about other aspects of our lives. So she talks about there are three types of business. The first type of business is God's business. And so what does she mean by God's business? Well, God's business is stuff that's out of our control. So the weather, traffic, basically things that we have no control over whatsoever. So are we focusing our attention on God's business? The other type of business, the second type of business that we tend to sort of get caught up in, is other people's business. So thinking about what they're doing or what they're saying or things they've done or said that may not be appropriate, and how they're acting and being as human beings. So us getting caught up in other people's business. And then the third piece is the piece that Rilke's talking about, which is the journey within. So thinking about our own business, so thinking about what patterns of behavior that we run as human beings and taking full 100% responsibility for our stuff. Now the challenge for most of us is actually we tend to focus a lot of our time on God's business, but probably more so on other people's business, talking about what they've done or not done, instead of going back to that 100% personal responsibility. So personal responsibility helps us focus on ourselves and making sure that we actually focus on all the things that we are doing in our lives that's creating some of the potential chaos in our lives. So this week, have a think about are you getting distracted? Are you getting caught up in other people's business or God's business instead of focusing on your own stuff? So have a great week, and